Alright everybody, so back again with another review video for you guys. But real quickly before I get started, I just wanted to take the time to thank everybody so far that's subscribed to my channel and liked and shared all of my videos. It's a big inspiration, and I'd like to thank y'all for all y'all comments and suggestions, because I do read all of them. And thank you, because it's helped me make a lot of improvements. So I just wanted to thank you guys before we get started with this next one. Alright, moving on. Real quick before we move on to the main attraction here, I just want to talk about a few things that came with the phone. Namely this hard shell case and the flat style headphones. Alright, so let's start with the case here. Move this off. So, in terms of the case, it is a pretty good case. It's, you can see it's kind of flimsy now because it's not on the phone. But it does offer minimal protection. Not gonna lie, I probably would have liked it if it was a silicone case, because as you can see, it's open on the bottom and the top, but you have main protection on the back here, and I don't know how well you can pick it up, but it does scratch quite easily, so didn't like that. But it's a free case, and like I said in the unboxing, I really enjoy that Blue does sends all their devices with free cases and headphones. Alright. So let's move on to the next thing here. Talk about these headphones, which are of the flat style here. And you can see it's not gold plating, it's the regular silver plating. These are pretty much standard headphones. But I do like the style, and they do rest in my ear quite comfortably, and they don't move. A lot of these standard headphones, when I put them in my ear, they have a tendency to slide out after a while, and I don't really like that because then I gotta fight with them. But these don't do that, so I really do enjoy that. And in terms of sound quality coming out these guys, it is pretty awesome, if I must say so myself. So good job, Blue, in that department. So let's put these off to the side. It's off to the side. Alright. Now, what everybody is here for, the main event, the star of the show, the Blue Life Pure Mini. So let's jump right into this. Let's talk about the build quality. So the build quality on this device, as you can see, it is a slate build. It's very clean and industrial. I'm sorry, I know you guys can see it, but it came with a screen protector, and I really have crappy luck installing these things. But it is what it is, and that was also nice to have. But the build quality itself is really, really good. And I'm not gonna lie to you guys, because this is my honest opinion, but I don't really drop my phones, but I did drop this phone a few times, and one of those times was face down, and I thought it was over. Literally, I was about to start crying. I dipped my head. I was about to start bawling like a baby, because I love my devices, and I hate when bad things happen to them. But I picked it up. It was still 100% fine. And I was like, oh, praise the Lord. So that right there just gave it really good points in the build quality department. So yeah, that's build quality. Alright, moving right along. Let's talk about the display. So right here, up front and center, we have a 4.5 inch IPS I think it's LCD display with I think it's 320 pixels per inch. So let's just fire it up so I can double check that for you guys real quickly. Whoop, getting out of focus there. Not good. Let that focus up. So let's just go check the pixel density real quickly. See what this is looking like here. So, and of course you would crash in the middle of the video. So yeah, leave it to y'all to do that in the middle of the video. Alright, so the pixel density, yes, I did get it right. It's 320 pixels per inch. Take that up so you guys can see that. And it's got a screen resolution of 720 by 1280. So this is high definition. Now, it's not 1080p, but the screen itself is still very beautiful, guys. I mean, no dead pixels. All the colors pop. I must say, Blue did a good job with this one. So, not going to have any problems with this display. Anyways, moving right along, let's get into the software and the hardware on this guy. So, the display I've already talked about. What we have here is a quad-core processor clocked at, let me get to it real quick, clocked at 1.5 gigahertz, and as you can see, it's the MediaTek MTK 6589. So it's the older MediaTek processor, but it runs really, really smoothly, you guys. So no problems on that front at all. And now, in other terms here, it's running 1 gig of RAM and 16 gigs of internal storage. No micro SD card expansion on this one. That kind of made me sad, because I was really enjoying that. But as I'm starting to learn, as I start doing a lot of these phone reviews, that it's probably a little easier to invest in cloud storage, and you know, Google's pretty good with their cloud storage. But in terms of space, you guys, I'm gonna just show you. Still have tons of space on the device because I moved all my stuff over to the cloud. But it's still awkward. Like, I thought it was gonna be, you know, actually 16 gigs of internal space. And yeah, and you take a few gigs out for the operating system. So I was expecting like 12 or 10, but they actually broke the internal storage up into 2 partitions. So what we have here is an internal partition of about I think it was 4 gigs when I unboxed it. And yeah, 4 or 5, I can't remember correctly. Well, you can do the math there. And then if you swipe over, you have the phone storage, and there's actually about 9 gigs on this. So, and you see I've installed a little bit there as well. So if you add that all up, it comes out to roughly 16 gigs, give or take a few, and the space for the operating system and all that. But so that was a little weird, but it's still usable. So didn't really see that as a problem. But once again, it's still very weird because I was expecting something different. Now, moving right along to the software and the features here, it's running Android Jelly Bean 4.1.2 Jelly Bean, and that's a little bit of a bummer, but it is what it is. as a lot of you, I'm sure, are becoming accustomed to, a lot of these GSM unlocked phones don't really run the latest and the greatest. I mean, there are a few, but I think the latest operating system out right now is Android 5.0 Lollipop, and yeah, I think most of us are still running KitKat, and there are even a slighter proportion still running on Jelly Bean and gingerbread and ice cream sandwich. So it's kind of the luck of the draw, and I don't think Blue is gonna keep up with updates on this device, but some of their other devices maybe. But it's not a deal breaker for me because it's still a beautiful device, and a lot of people, much like myself, we just want to use the phone and we don't really care what operating system is on it. We just want to use it how we want to use it. So that's that. Now, in terms of features, Blue has heavily skinned this phone, you guys. As you can see, there's little funky animations, and I think it's pretty cool. When you reach the end, it kind of glides up and pops, kind of like HTC. And they organize things well. It's bright and it's colorful. But don't really like it that much because, as y'all know, I'm falling in love with the stock Android. So I would have liked a stock user experience, but it is what it is. And as you can see, they even threw in some gestures, and it has a guest mode and all that good stuff. But one little negative note, I tried the gestures and they don't really work. But it is what it is because I don't really use them. So you might get lucky if you buy this phone. They might work, they might not. But I couldn't get them to work. So that was a little weird. Other than that, they do have a little like iPhone feature here where the recent apps button is not traditional. You kind of like have to tap the home button real fast and then recent apps comes up. Kind of like that, and then kind of like Apple, you swipe it up to get rid of it. And there's no clear all button, so that kind of made me mad because sometimes you want to clear all to free up some space on the memory so your phone will run smoothly when you're doing intensive tasks like games or anything. Not that I had a problem with that on this phone, but I'm saying it would have been nice to have. But I must say that this style of multitasking, in a sense, does make it really, really quick to get in and out of apps really quickly. And based on the size of the phone, it was a good choice. Would I have liked to have seen the stock recent apps? Yeah, because I'm used to that. I really enjoy that. But it is what it is. It's a heavy skin. It's a heavy skin. And then moving right along, you can get Google Now if you just hold down the home button here. Go right into Google Now. And then you can say, okay, Google. And everything works like it's supposed to. Now, there was an issue with the Google Now, however. Sometimes when I try to do something, like I ask it a question, or I want to ask for directions or navigations, it kind of takes my command and then it hangs. Ooh, Giants are playing tomorrow. I'll make sure I watch that. But yeah, it kind of takes my command and then it hangs, and then it doesn't do anything. So I have to tap it again, and then it works just fine. So a little bug in there, but it's good to see that it's there. Now, moving on to some other software features. Much like Apple and some of the other Chinese manufacturers, we do not have an app drawer. And what we do have is main screens and we can make folders. Now, I'm the type of person that likes to organize my phone and just use what I use, but the fact that there's no app drawer, I can't really do that. Now, I could have installed another launcher and got that back, but I'm trying to make this as user friendly as possible, because a lot of average users out there, they might do that, but then they might not like going through the trouble of setting up the launcher and all that good stuff. So I try to just run the stock software and give you guys my opinions on that. So you don't have any app drawer, but you can put it in these little folders here. It's kind of like drag and drop, and you title the folders and such. Now, how do I feel about that? That's a big no-no to me, because look at my screen. My screen looks full. I don't like this. It's organized, yes, so I'm okay, but the screen is full to the gills. And a lot of this I don't use on a daily basis, but I couldn't get rid of it. So, yeah, I don't like that. But it is what it is. So, other than that, you don't have any widgets on this device. I mean, you do have the one weather widget here, but that's about it. You know, and then if you tap on it, it goes straight into the app. And it's a beautiful app, I must say. But for that to be the only widget you can use, I don't know if I like that too much. But some other features is it does come with a themer built in, so you can change the themes or the wallpapers or anything like that. So right now I do have a custom wallpaper back there, but much like Apple, it's kind of blurred out back there, but you can change the themes. And they have a few built-in themes here. So I think when I unbox the phone, it looks something like this. And that looked pretty cool, but I'm more of a Android purist. So I kind of like the stock apps. Sorry about that notification, guys. Let me clear that out here. So I'm kind of an Android purist. So I went into the theme engine here, and they have Android right there. And now it doesn't change the system, it just changes the look of the apps. So you see I have the stock apps there. Yeah. And the lock screen, which isn't really stock. It's, once again, it's more like iOS or Apple. It's kind of like you swipe up. Well, not really, because Apple you swipe across. But yeah. But it is what it is. Other than that, all of the Android features is here, including a few that wouldn't really be in this version of Android. Like you get guest mode and all of that good stuff, so you can let other users use this and not interfere with any of your personal stuff, because when you enable guest mode, all of your things disappear. So now, like if you go into my pictures, there's nothing there. Stuff like that. So that's pretty cool. But there is an issue with that. The apps don't let them sign in. So if you launch an app, let's launch YouTube. You're still signed into my YouTube page, so you can still access my stuff. So it's a neat feature, but they didn't really do it right, in my opinion. But it is what it is. So let me get out of this real quick. Turn that off. And now we're back to regular here. So that's that. Now, moving right along, let's talk about some of the glitches, stutters, and crashes. My bad, guys. I forgot to talk about the sensors in this device. So you do have a proximity sensor, a light sensor. I think there was a magnet sensor for navigation and all that. But you do not have an LED notification light. No, you don't have that. But you do have a front-facing 2 megapixel camera and a rear-facing 8 megapixel camera, and you can see your mics and everything. And I must say it's pretty good. But yeah, that's about all you have in terms of sensors there. And just so you guys can get a better illustration, let me go ahead and pull this back up so you guys can see all the sensors that you have. And she's being stubborn today. Of course, she would wait till the day that I shoot the review to be stubborn. I mean, I'm in and out of this app, checking stuff and testing stuff, and it never crashed. And the day I shoot the review, it wants to crash. So yes, you have a light sensor, an accelerometer, a rotation sensor, a gravity sensor, everything like that. But you still are missing probably some of the ones that we've become accustomed to. But it is what it is. Now, moving right along, any glitches, stutters, or crashes. When I first got the device, it didn't really crash, but it did have one random reboot one day. I thought like the phone died or something. No, it just randomly rebooted. I'm not sure why. And then the stock calendar app, as you can see, I have 2. But the stock calendar app would crash whenever I opened it. They fixed it now. I think some type of update was pushed to the app. But other than that, no real crashes. But as you've seen live, the one of the benchmarking apps that I use did crash. But it's pretty rare. I mean, it hasn't crashed on me before. And of course, yeah. But no real crashes or stutters on this device whatsoever, you guys. Now, moving right along. Covered that. Let's talk about the Wi-Fi in this device. So, what you have here is, okay, actually I can show it to you real quick, because we're going to talk about that. So let me launch this, and then go to results so you guys can see here. So what we have in this device in terms of Wi-Fi, you guys, is we have 802.11 BGNN. No AC, but the Wi-Fi radios in this device were awesome. As you can see, I have pretty respectable Wi-Fi, and I got really good scores. Data speeds, it was awesome. You get HSPA plus, which is a form of 4G. Not really, but yeah, it was awesome. Let me go ahead and launch a YouTube video for you guys so you guys can see. And didn't really have any buffering or any lag like that whatsoever. So let me just go to, let's see what's on my subscriptions here. I can show you guys real fast. Anyone will do. Pocket Now. These guys are awesome.
All the comfort without the cord. Suede Shoe Bluetooth headphones are innovative, easy to use, and lightweight.
Alright.
Hey, can you pronounce my name?
Boom.
Vishnu,
So, as you can see, it loads up fairly quickly. No buffering whatsoever. Let me just go ahead and play a few seconds. So you guys can see it here.
4507, right? Why are you posting videos so late or the next day? That beer's getting to you or what? You got me, dude. Drop the like right after the slam to the wall comment. Haha.
Yeah. So, no problems with Wi-Fi or data speeds. And I am running this on T-Mobile's network. And there are certain bands that you need to have in order to make sure you get the best speeds possible. And those bands are, I think I made a note, 850, 900, 1800, 1900. Yeah, those are the bands. And that's 3G and HSPA plus. So yeah, please make sure that your whatever SIM card you're using supports those bands before you pick up this phone, because I know there was a lot of questions about bands and some of them weren't supported, and I was kind of sad that I couldn't help you guys there. But there's only so much that can be done. But please make sure that you support those bands. Now, and this does support Hotspot 2 as well. And it's usually, let me just show you guys, because I got a few questions about that too. It's usually buried in your settings here. If you go to, I think it's more. There's usually a more option when you go into your settings, and as you can see, there it is. Tethering and portable hotspot along with VPN, and you can also check your data usage. And that's pretty much like that on all Android devices. So if you ever get confused, you can come back to this video and there it is. I just showed you how to get to it. Now, moving right along, let's talk about the Bluetooth. The Bluetooth on this, guys, is awesome. Now, I did Bluetooth some stuff over from my tablet and didn't have any issues whatsoever, you guys. And I'm pretty sure that I won't. And I will be picking up some more Bluetooth headphones to test. And I believe they should run beautifully. I don't have any more at this time because I gave them away to my family. Because, you know, Christmas is coming up. And, you know, I kind of got to jump on that. So I was already giving them stuff. But it should run beautifully, guys. Because it does support, whoops, keep that framed up. It does support Bluetooth 4.0. So, and with that, I believe it is backwards compatible. So you shouldn't have any problems if you have older Bluetooth headsets or things like that. But it's always good to make sure. Alright, but the Bluetooth on this device was awesome. It was really awesome. Now, moving on, let's talk about the GPS. The GPS was, it was good. It was okay. There was some times where it hiccuped a little bit, but generally, when I needed to use it, the signal locked on in a few seconds, and I was off and going. Now, the weird thing is that because I downloaded a GPS test app, sorry you guys, so I could see just how fast it locked on. It wouldn't pick up. But I tested it in the real world and it locked on really, really quickly. Because as y'all know from my previous videos, I am horrible when it comes to directions. So GPS is something that I use heavily when I'm driving or I'm out on the road, and it's really good on this device. But that's a little weird that I couldn't get it to lock on when I was trying to use that app. It might just be my particular device. It might be a bug in there somewhere, but it still works. No big deal. So, moving on here, let's start talking about the cameras. And so, as I alluded to earlier, you have a 2 megapixel front facing camera and an 8 megapixel rear facing camera. I'm just pulling that up so y'all can see the video samples here. So real quick before I jump into that, I want to show y'all this neat feature. On the lock screen, you can take pictures. Alright, right there from the lock screen. Hold on 1 second, you guys. The camera is about to die, and so let me just plug it in real quick. Put this down. Plug it up. Whoops. Alright, let's get this plugged up. Alright. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. I don't like to edit. So, I'm sorry about that noise you heard in the background. But anyways, let's carry on. So, camera-wise. Alright. So, I just wanted to show you this neat little feature from